All right, welcome back. So we are going to work with lesson 4, part 3. Yes, the last video we worked on creating the effects for the island paradise. These are the effects right here that we did yesterday. So today we're going to move on. Today we're going to work a lot with our layers and our layer styles. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm actually going to take this layer style, take the tab, and then I'm going to move it down so you can see the different layers right here. You can actually move it to the side a little bit. It's a little choosy here. Make it a little bigger. Okay. So we did these effects to the Island Paradise. What you're going to do is you're going to press and hold the Windows button on your keyboard, and you're going to take those effects and you're going to drag them over into the Hawaii layer. And you can see now Hawaii has all of those effects. Okay, moving on. So now we're going to select the Hawaii layer to make sure that we are in that layer. And then you're going to click on the Add a Layer Style button at the bottom of the Layers panel. Once you're there, you're going to click Stroke, which is right here. And you have a new dialog box that comes up. So know that sometimes this dialog box will pop up and it'll be hidden under other applications that you have open on your computer. So if it didn't come up, chances are you need to minimize the other things that are at your computer in order to see the dialog box. So we're going to go to the size. You're going to change the size to 4 pixels. You're going to change the position to outside. And watch what happens to the text as you do this. Change the blend mode to normal. Change the opacity to 100%. And then click on here and you're going to select green. You can see that. And then hit OK. All right. We're going to hit OK. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select our normal flower layer. So we're going to click on that to make that the active layer. You can see that there's a box around it. And we are going to choose up here to make it just slightly different. In Photoshop there's several ways of doing one thing. You're going to go to Layer, and then you're going to go to Layer Style right here, and then choose Drop Shadow. So move over and go to Drop Shadow. Same dialog box. Okay, so we're going to change the opacity to 60%, the distance to 13, the spread to 9, that's the spread, change it to 9, and then make sure that the Use Global Light is checked, and that the blend mode here is Multiply. Alright, with this layer style dialog box still open, you're going to click on the word satin. Right here. That really made it darker. And then over here where there's a color, you're going to click on it, and we want to choose a fuchsia color. So fuchsia would be like right in here in these tones. So you can see how that really changed. I'll move this over. You can see how that really changed the flower. So we're going to choose a fuchsia. And then you can hit OK on that part. You're going to take the opacity to 20. The distance to 22. And then, so you know that the satin layer effect applies over that flower by itself. And then we're going to hit OK to keep those effects. Okay, so now we're going to select flower 2. And we're going to make some adjustments to flower 2. Click on the hue and saturation icon in the adjustments panel. So click on adjustments, and then we're going to choose hue and saturation, which is right here. moving on. So in this properties panel, we're going to take the hue and we're going to make it 43. Oh, it changed us back. So all right, we're going to move on. I'm going to show you how to apply it to just this flower. Okay, then we're going to take the saturation and take it to 19. And then this lightness should be at 0. Okay. Then come over to this layer and you're going to right click and we're going to go to create a clipping mask. And then this little arrow represents that it only applies, that adjustment layer will only apply to this layer. Normally it applies to most everything that's in there, but right now it's just going to apply to this layer. Okay, so now we're going to select the Island Paradise layer right here in the Layers panel. In the Tool panel, you're going to select the Horizontal Type tool. In the Options bar, set the font to 32%. And then hit Enter. And then using the Horizontal Type tool, you're going to, I want you to watch my cursor. So see how there's a little bracket around it? That means if I click somewhere, like if I click here, it's going to start a whole new text line. I don't want that text line, so now I'm going to click it and drag that into the trash. But watch my cursor, look how it changes when I come over the top of this layer. This is the layer that we want to change. And what we're going to do is we're going to click right here, and now we're going to type the word of. Okay. So there's more space. Let's see, if we back up, you need a space here, and then you can see that these two spaces are equal. But now that we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to decide that we don't want that. So now I'm going to click and hold the mouse down, and I'm going to drag that and hit delete on my keyboard, and I'm going to hit backspace, just to make sure that there's not an extra space right here. Okay, so so that's how you add words if you need to add words. You're going to click on your Move tool and then drag the Island of Paradise so that it's centered under the word Hawaii. And some of you have a different font that might be longer, and that's okay, just make sure it's centered. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to File and Save. It's saved. And now we're going to add a border to the picture. So among a couple of other things. So now we're going to select the postage layer, and then we're going to use the Move tool to drag it to the middle of the right image. Okay, so I'm going to take the Move tool and I'm going to click it. Whoops, I'll make sure we're clicking on the postage layer, and then you're going to kind of move it over a little bit. Okay. Select the Island Paradise layer in the Layers panel, right here, and then click the Create a New Layer icon at the bottom of the Layers panel. Choose Select All, then choose Select, Modify, and then Border. You're going to type 10 pixels. For the width, and hit OK. Select white for the foreground color. You can either just click these little arrows to change the foreground and background. So these two, that little black and white button right here, this represents the default color. The default color is black as the foreground, white as the background, but we're going to change those. So now we have white as the foreground. Then what we're going to do is choose Edit and then Fill. In the Fill dialog box, choose the foreground color. Okay. And then hit OK. So now we have a border around our postcard. Now we're going to go to Select and Deselect. Double click layer 1 right on the text, and then you're going to call it border. Okay, and then you can just click off of that to commit that change. The next thing you're going to do is select any tool but the type tool to be sure that you're not text editing. So just click on a different tool. Okay. Then you're going to go to File and then Save. Okay. So the next thing you're going to do is choose your image and then duplicate. And in the duplicate image dialog box, you're going to call this, keep it your name 04, and then type, instead of copy, you're going to type flat. And then hit OK. So now you have two of the same files. You have your original one, which is just your 04, and now you have your name 04 flat. Leave the flat file open. So we're going to leave this one open, but we can close our 04 working. So I'm going to click the X to close that. Oops, yeah, that's right. Okay, so on this one, go to the layer menu, and then we're going to choose flatten image. And all of the layers now are just in that one background. So that will save disk space, and it just makes it so that you can send it and do different things to it if you want to do that. Okay, so we're going to go back to File, and we're going to hit Save. And then make sure that it's in the correct folder, okay? If you need to go to your Google Drive, go to My Drive, go to your computer graphics folder. I also showed you, go to book lessons. I also showed you that you can click on your, I showed you how to make a tag, and here's my tag for that, okay? And then just hit Save. So you are going to submit both files, your flat version and your other version, your non-flattened version, because I grade your layers. You submit both of those to Canvas. And that's all for lesson 4. Good job.